Hey friends, how's it going? Just wanted to share a quick thought on my journal reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Just sitting here in my car, thought I'd park and share this with you real quick because I just didn't want it to evacuate my brain too quickly. And I just want to hear your guys' thoughts, hear your opinions and your disagreements, whatever it is that you guys are thinking. Just trying to get opportunities to connect and hear from you guys. So this reading today was in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Paul is addressing the questions that are being asked to him from the Corinthian church, and the specific question that he is addressing is on the topic of Christian marriage and what does that look like, and specifically what does that look like in the framework of this first century Greco-Roman world, and specifically to Gentiles who are living in pagan cities, where most likely they came to faith in Jesus, apart from any kind of Christian framework for how to live and how to love. And so these marriages were founded apart from Jesus, and now one or the other spouse has come into a relationship with Jesus. So they're wondering, how should I go about staying married and pursuing marriage? And Paul addresses that, but he also goes deeper, and that's kind of what I wanted to focus on for this video because it was what stood out to me. He goes deeper and he gets to the underlying question, which is, how should I use my freedom? How should I use the circumstances that God has placed me in? And really that's the heart of what the Christian life is all about. It's not just, should I get married? Should I not get married? Should I go to school? Should I not go to school? Should I, go to the park? So it's simple things that we worry about, all the ifs, ands, or buts, that we contemplate what is God's will, and we should contemplate what is God's will. But the clarity on what God has called us to is very simple. And when Jesus reminds us in Matthew, I believe it's Matthew 20, is when he references the great commandment to love God and to love people. And Paul points us back to this in verse 19. He says, keeping God's commands is what counts. He's redirecting them away from just the focus, the narrowed in focus on marriage. And he's reminding them that in every circumstance that we're in every situation that we're in, whether we're married, whether we're unmarried, whether we're in school or not in school, whether we have kids or don't have kids, whether we have a job or don't have a job, that the command is to serve God, to love God and love people in the circumstance that we're in. And I just was struck by that because I don't know if you guys have been experiencing this as well, but when I've been reading the Bible recently, just based on all of the cultural stuff that's happening, I've been connecting with it a little bit more just because of the uncertainty and all those things. It makes me feel like I'm a little bit more connected with the mindset of what the First Corinthians are going through and what the first century church was going through, just with all the uncertainty of being a Christian in that era. I don't know, I know that these are completely different things, don't get me wrong, but there's some things that I connect with more as I'm reading the Bible. And so I don't know if you guys have been experiencing that as well. But going back to that, keeping God's commands, that's what counts. That's what's most important. So today, no matter where we're at, no matter what life situation we're in, whether we have lost our job, whether we have a job, whether we have relationships that we can connect to really closely, whether it's marriage or friendship or whatever relationships are being challenged by this season of life, remember, whatever circumstance you're in right now is an opportunity to love God and to love people. And how are we going to do that? Well, that's for us to live in the Spirit and to pursue God in. So I'd love to hear how that hits you. I'd love to hear how you interact with that and what you think about that. If you completely disagree, please share. I'm up for a disagreement right now. I have lots of time to discuss this stuff. So thank you for listening. Hopefully hear back from you, or just banter or interact in the text thread. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I say pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie.
Donuts!
It's going to.
I'm going to.
You want to come with me? Go get some donuts, dude?
I want to go get some poop.